Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that you are joining my session and my channel. First of all, I want to say thank you to Cyber Back to School for giving me the chance to present my topic from today. Let's go ahead and talk about me. My name is Hannes or Johannes Lagler-Gruener. I'm a cloud technology lead in one of the biggest consulting companies in Austria. You can find me on different social media platforms like LinkedIn, X. You can find me also on GitHub. I have a lot of repositories where you can find source code and solutions. I have my own YouTube channel. I have my own blog called cloudblogger.it. I'm a Microsoft MVP since five years right now in the area Asia and security, and you can see I have a really strong focus on Microsoft Asia. I have different certifications in different areas, so like network engineering, like security administration, solution architecture, and so on and so forth. But I'm also focusing on other hyperscalers like AWS and GCP. But my main focus, once more, is really for Microsoft Asia. Okay, our session from today will cover the topic Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and also the topic why, what, and how can we use Microsoft Defender for Cloud when we are starting with our cloud journey, and why it's so important to have a good service like Microsoft Defender for Cloud in place when you're starting with. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about why. So think about your cloud experience, your cloud starting point, or your cloud journey. When we start with the cloud journey, we have to think about, is it a one cloud strategy with on-premise, or a hybrid cloud strategy, or hybrid multi-cloud strategy? Do we have maybe AWS, GCP, on-premise, Asia, or other hyperscalers in place? And when it comes to security, we have to think about we have to think about an unified security management, so a single pane of glass about your environment, about your infrastructure, your services in place. It's really important to have a single pane of glass in case of security management. When we are designing workloads for cloud, we have normally infrastructure service, we have platform as a service, we have maybe software as a service, and the rising threat landscape is much higher when cloud environments are increasingly target. And also the cybersecurity threats sophisticated, increasing. When we think about developing applications, so when we think about security, in the traditional way, we have our infrastructure team, we have our security team, we have our developers. And it's really important to start with a shift left security. So not think about your infrastructure only to secure your infrastructure. Also integrate security earlier in a DevOps life cycle or in a DevSecOps life cycle to scan your code about, for example, passwords, shared access keys and whatever, before it comes to the productive stage. And when you go to the cloud, when you're starting with the cloud journey, you're implementing your environment in the cloud, and maybe you have compliance or governance regular requirements, and you have to fulfill this in the cloud. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud can help you exactly in this case as well. What is Microsoft Defender for Cloud? So first of all, we are thinking about why it's so important to have a good tool in place, and what can Microsoft Defender for Cloud do for you in exactly these cases. Microsoft Defender for Cloud is a cloud-native protection platform, CNAPP, and it will protect different services on-premise, in Asia, in GCP, in AWS, But what you can see here, we have here different services like a storage account, and storage means the cloud native, the Azure storage account. We can protect app services inside Microsoft Azure, databases, not only SQL database, we have a lot more of database that can be protected. We have here Key Vault. Key Vault also really important when it comes to protection, because what are you storing in the Key Vault? You're storing secrets, certificates in the Key Vault. It's really highly to have a protection here in place. On top, you also have the ability to protect your API services. So not the API from Azure. This is for the resource manager. When you think about API management, so you're developing APIs for your customers, for other businesses, for your own, you can also protect on-tap API services. We have for sure container protection in place. So for different container services, agent-based, we have the ability to use Defender for servers, and CSPM is also in place, the Defender CSPM plan or Defender Foundational plan. So let's go ahead and talk about the different levels what we have in the CNAP. We have here CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. And the main functionality from Security Posture Management is it identifies misconfiguration and improves security posture in your environment. So we will talk in a few minutes a lot more of Security Posture Management, but that's somewhere the main functionality. Cloud CWPP, Cloud Workload Protection Platform, protects VMs, containers, databases, and a lot more of services on top to your architecture security what you implemented. And from the shift left perspective, DevSecOps integration, secure code pipelines in GitHub, Azure DevOps, GitLab, and so on. So let's go ahead and talk about CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. This is the starting point, in my point of view, it's the starting point. In all environments what I implement for my customers, CSPM is one of the first services what I have activated. CSPM is available in two ways. It's the free plan or the Defender plan, and the CSPM gives you a good overview about your environment, how my environment is configured, are there some misconfiguration, and it monitors security posture in real time. So when you have some misconfiguration, for example, you have a virtual machine, and on the virtual machine is directly assigned a public IP address. Never ever do this. Microsoft Security Posture Management will know this and will detect this and will decrease your security posture. So it's really important to have a high security posture score or high secure score between 70 and 100%. And if you resolve a recommendation, for example, it can be increase your security posture or secure score. It detect and remediate configuration issues and improve visibility and compliance. It's also really important, CSPM. So when we go into details, centralized policy management across your environment. So when you enable Microsoft Defender for Cloud, normally the Microsoft Security Benchmark policy will be assigned to your subscription, for example. And this initiative have a lot of policies included, and this policy will check your environment based on your configuration and give you the recommendation. Based on the recommendation and the outcome from the initiative, Microsoft Defender for Cloud will generate a secure score for you and summarize your security posture. And the main goal is to have a really high secure score and reduce your recommendation as much as possible. What you can do is you can implement multi-cloud, so you have a multi-cloud coverage to connected environments, so like on-premise over Azure Arc or other hyperscalers. You can use the dashboard to see weakness in your security posture. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud delivers a lot of different dashboards and workbooks that you have a better understanding about your environment, what happens in my environment, what is configured in my environment, what is new added in my environment, and what is wrong configured. So this is the baseline. So CSPM for free give you the ability to do exactly this one here. On top, you have the Defender CSPM plan. With the Defender CSPM plan, you have an advanced cloud security posture management. So this means for your recommendations, you can see a risk scoring. You can see the criticality of your recommendations. You can assign the recommendation to exactly one person, give a notification to this person. You have a data security posture management on top included. You have an attack path analysis. So for example, you have a key vault and the key vault is not good configured, and you can see the attack path. What can happen when an attacker attacks your key path and it's not really good configured. You have a cloud security explorer in place, so it's also included. With this Cloud Security Explorer, you can drill down to your assets inside Microsoft Defender for Cloud and filter some information out. You have the security governance, which means normally you have the Microsoft Cloud Security Benchmark initiative in place. And with this functionality, security governance, you can assign additional initiatives based on different regular compliance policies, for example, ISO certification, NIST, HIPAA, whatever. You have also, with Microsoft Defender for Cloud plan, Microsoft Enterprise Permission Management in place, so this is included. So when we want to see exactly what's different between the free or the foundational and the plan CSPM version, here you are. So what you can see on the left side is the foundational. So foundational have a lot of functionalities in place. So security recommendations is included in the foundational. It's also available on all hyperscalers, Azure, AWS, GCP. It's available on-premise for Docker Hub, JFrog, and Artifactory. Then we go to, for example, AI Security Posture Management. AI Security Posture Management is only available for the Defender CSPM plan, and it's only available at the moment for Azure and AWS. So this is also important to know what functionality is available for what cloud service, for what cloud environment, and is it included in CSPM, foundational CSPM, or Defender for CSPM. Okay, that's about CSPM. Cloud Security Posture Management is one of the important services when I'm starting with the cloud journey. So CSPM free is always enabled on my environments for my customers. And then we can go ahead and activate, if it's required, Defender CSPM and workload protection. So when we are designing architectures in Azure, we have a baseline security. We are using, for example, a web application firewall, a firewall. We are using DDoS protection, and so on and so forth. And what we can do with Defender for Cloud, we can assign an additional layer of security based on a Defender for Cloud plan. And it gives us the ability to, on top, protect our, for example, Defender for Servers, Defender for Database, our database services, IaaS based or platform as a service based. We can also use detection by artificial intelligence, and yeah, that's additional plans what we can activate when we go to the details. Cloud Workload Protection Platform gives us a real-time threat detection and response functionality on top to our architecture. It can protect VMs, containers, databases, app services, APIs, and so on and so forth. We can integrate Defender for Cloud workload protection with our DevSecOps pipelines, and we have an enhanced visibility into workload security posture. And on top, if something happens, if a security alert happens, we can also automate remediation and compliance support, so we can activate or we can execute playbooks like a Logic app and whatever. Okay, so what kind of plans are available? At the moment, you can see here we have different plan types. On the left side, you can see the plan type itself. For example, Defender for Servers. We have here two plans, the plan 2 or the plan 1. And at the moment, we have null servers in our environment, but let's go to the plan itself. So the plan 1, Defender for Server plan 1, is the same like Microsoft Defender for Servers. So you can assign here as a pay-as-you-go model your Defender for Server plan to your virtual machines on-premise as well in the cloud. So on-premise, when you onboard your servers over Azure Arc to your environment, you can also assign Defender for Server plan 1 to your virtual machines and have the license to use Defender for Servers. With the plan 2, this is the full-blown security feature for Microsoft Defender for Servers. You have the Defender for Servers in place. You have just-in-time VM access and a lot of more functionalities. We will see this in a few minutes when we go to the live demo. You have app services. You can activate your Defender plan for app services, for databases. Not only for SQL database, we have the ability to use Cosmos DB, SQL database, MariaDB, Cosmos, Postgres SQL, and so on. For storage account, we have two different options. We can activate it per storage account or per request. Containers, we have the ability to monitor our Kubernetes environments per core, or our container registries. We have the ability to activate it for our AI services inside Microsoft Azure. It's calculated per token, so 1K tokens per month. Key Vault, absolutely important to protect on top your secrets, your certificates, your passwords, and so on. Resource Manager and API protection is also available. So that are the plans what you can activate. You can activate the plans on different ways. What you can see here on the right side is a promotion. So if you activate Defender for Server plan 2, you have a grace period where you can test the functionality, for example. Okay, so that's about Defender plans. Now let's go to the shift left, DevSecOps. So we want to scan our infrastructure as code or our pipelines before it comes to the productive stage. So implementing security checks in the CI/CD pipelines. That's really important from the code to infrastructure to security. So we have here continuous lifecycle. DevSecOps, shift left security, identify issues early in the development cycle. So that's the main topic here. Continuous compliance, ensure code meets security standards before deployed. So for example, no password, no shared access keys available inside the code, no SSH token or whatever. Automated vulnerability scanning is also included. Faster remediation, provide actionable insights for developers. So, for example, if the DevSecOps identicate an security breach, the issue will be assigned to the developer, for example. And enhance collaboration. It's also important that development team and the infrastructure team and the security team working together to fulfill the best security services as possible. When we go back, and you can see here the different Microsoft Defender for Cloud plans. Where is the DevSecOps plan here included? In this case, in no plan, when we are activating Microsoft Defender CSPM plan, the plan version, not the free foundational version, the CSPM plan, DevSecOps is included. So you can see code to cloud mapping for containers, code to cloud mapping for infrastructure as code. So this is included. Code to cloud mapping for containers for GitHub, Azure DevOps, Docker Hub, and JFrog. And code to cloud mapping for infrastructure as code, Azure DevOps, Docker Hub, JFrog, and for JFrog. So that's really important. There's no separate plan for DevSecOps. It's included in the Defender CSPM plan. How can you start with Microsoft Defender for Cloud? So first of all is define your security objectives. It's really important to know what kind of hyperscalers or clouds are enabled or are in our focus from my company. Is it only a Azure only strategy? Do we have AWS or GCP in place? Do we have all three hyperscalers in place? So that's really important what cloud platforms are planned or currently used. What kind of workloads need to protect? So do we only have infrastructure as service, so VMs on-premise as well in the cloud? Do we only use container platforms like EKS in AWS, like AKS in Azure, or on-premise Docker? Do we use database? Do we use only SQL database or open source database? Do we have some regulatory compliance standards to fulfill? ISO, GDPR, NIST, or whatever. That's really important to know before we are starting with Microsoft Defender for Cloud, to have a good overview about the security objectives. Then enable Defender for Cloud. So starting with free, or if you have some security compliances that you have to fulfill, then you can start with the CSPM Defender plan. But mainly, I'm always activating the Defender CSPM free plan for all of my environments. Why? It's really easy, because you get a better overview, you have a free overview about all your workloads. You have a good understanding, okay, what happens in my environment and what are maybe misconfigured. Then upgrade to your plans if it's required. So once more, if you are starting with free and you don't have the usability to use compliance standards, you can use free. My recommendation here is do not activate the CSPM plan per subscription. Activate the CSPM or the Microsoft Defender for Cloud always over Azure policies, or combine more policies into an initiative for centralized management. This is my recommendation for you. Use policies to activate Microsoft Defender for Cloud. I don't activate the services over infrastructure as code. I always use policies in this case. Okay, when this happens, when you know, okay, your security objectives, you know what kind of security posture management should be activated, the free or CSPM plan, then go ahead and onboard your other cloud resources like on-premise resources over Azure Arc or multi-cloud resources over Azure Arc. Connect the AWS or GCP accounts to have a unified visibility. It's also possible to use, so you have to configure your environment that you have a better overview about all your services, what you want to protect or what you want to analyze with CSPM. Then review secure score and recommendations, increase your secure score as much as possible, implement quick wins or fix quick wins first, for example, enabling MFA, configuring firewalls in my environment. So this is all secure recommendations that will increase your secure score. So the main goal here should be to have a secure score as high as possible. So above 70% will be ideal. And then when the secure score is high enough, you can go ahead and enable Defender plans or Defender for workload plans for your environment. And this is really important to have in the first line, and good overview about what kind of workload should be protected. Then start with CSPM, increase your secure score as much as possible, and then go ahead and activate the plans for your workloads that you identify in the main stage, on the first phase of your implementing stage, for your servers, containers, SQL, Key Vault, API, resource manager, and so on and so forth. So that's really the steps what you have to do. Don't start with workload protection in the beginning. Always start with CSPM and increase your secure score, including the recommendations. Then integrate DevSecOps pipelines if it's required. So if you're a developer company and developing code, infrastructure as code and rollout over CI/CD pipelines, integrate GitHub Advanced Security or Azure DevOps extension, scan infrastructure as code templates and container images with Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Monitor compliance and alerts. So alerts will be generated by workload protection, and if you have some compliance recommendations or requirements, monitor compliance requirements and increase or remove the recommendations to increase your compliance scoring as well. Use Logic Apps or Microsoft Sentinel for automation, for alerting automation, and it's also really important. Okay, then we have the baseline, but it's not the end. Continuous improve. So regularly review your secure score. So you will add new services. The new services are maybe not configured correctly. That will decrease your secure score. You get some recommendations. So that's the part where you have to implement a continuous improvement for all of your service, for all of your secure score. Stay up to date with new services, new Microsoft Defender for Cloud features. So Microsoft will improve the functionality from Microsoft Defender for Cloud, add new workload protection plans, add new policies into the baseline initiatives to get new recommendations, or maybe you have your own recommendations that you want to implement into your recommendation list, or your own policies that you want to implement in your recommendations. Depending on this, continuous improve your Microsoft Defender for Cloud environment. Okay, that's from the theory section. Now we are going to the Azure portal, and I want to show you Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So I give you an overview. You will get an overview about recommendations. Where can we find recommendations? How can you work with? Then on top, the most important workbooks. There are a lot of workbooks, but one is really important in case of cost calculations, FinOps. The first starting point when we are going to the live demo, activate the plan. So I want to show you the different options that you have, activating per subscription or via policy, my recommendation via policy. So this is the first starting point. Okay, so let's go to the Azure portal. Okay, so here we go. We are now in the Azure portal. Microsoft Defender for Cloud is a service that it's available in Microsoft Azure. So here in the menu, you can see Microsoft Defender for Cloud. It's a service and native service inside Microsoft Azure. But you can see here in the overview pane is I have here 7 subscriptions. I have 33 resources. I have 5 security alerts, and I have no attack path at the moment. So first of all, I want to show you how can you activate Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So we are going to, in the menu, to the management section on the left side, and here you can see environment settings. And what you can see here is my management group structure. So I have a management group structure. It's not so easy, based on the enterprise scale framework. And you can see here my landing zones. You can see here my platform, my application landing zones, my platform landing zones. I'm going to go to, for example, my application subscription one. You can see here on the left side the Defender plan section. And here you can see Microsoft Defender CSPM. This is the foundational. So on each environment, that exactly this plan here should be activated. In my environment, it's activated automatically. Perfect. So that's great. And here you can see we have the Microsoft CSPM Defender plan. So this is the billable CSPM plan. In my case, I have one resource, one billable resource, and the plan here in this subscription will cost $5 per resource, per billable resource per month. So what are billable resources for CSPM? So go to the information section here, and you can see servers, databases, and storage accounts are billable Defender for CSPM resources. So this is the baseline. So each environment, CSPM Foundational or CSPM Defender should be activated, depends on your requirements. Based on that, we can activate the workload protection plan. So we have here our CSPM workload protection server plan. In my case, it's activated for this subscription for one resource. So I have to pay the $15 per server per month. $15 will be cost one server. And I can change the plan from the full-blown security functionality Defender for Server Plan 2 to Plan 1. In this Defender for Server Plan 2, we have Microsoft Defender for Server integrated. So this is Microsoft Defender for Server. Microsoft Defender for Server. Then we have additional vulnerability scanning, agentless based, agentless VM secret scanning. We have here just-in-time VM access. We have here file integrity monitoring, network layer threat detection, and also really interesting log analytics, 500 megabyte free ingest to log analytics, to a log analytics workspace, what you can use, for example, for Microsoft Sentinel. Keep in mind, only for log analytics, not for Sentinel. So Microsoft Sentinel is split into 2 different builds, log analytics, and on top Microsoft Sentinel. The 500 megabyte is only for log analytics, not for Sentinel. When we switch to server plan 1, you can see here it's only for Defender for Endpoint or Defender for Server. So this is the license, the pay-as-you-go license, when you want to activate Defender for Servers for all of your servers inside Azure or for on-premise if you are onboarding your servers with Azure Arc. Yeah, then we have the ability to activate, for example, database, Defender for Database. And when we go here to the selected types, you can see here we can activate the Defender for SQL database for the PaaS service. PaaS service is Azure SQL databases. We can activate it for SQL on infrastructure service. We can activate the Defender for SQL for open source relational databases, which includes MySQL, MariaDB, Cosmos DB, or we can activate the Defender plan for Cosmos DB. based on the hour use per hour. Okay, so then we have other abilities to activate for key vaults, really important to have in place. Okay, when we activate the plan, we can go back to our general section, and what we can see here are the recommendations. So when we activate defend CSPM foundational, the risky level is not available, the risky factor is not available, the attack path is not available, and the recommendation owner is not available. So this is only a functionality from the CSPM defender plan. But what you can see here, you can see the recommendations. For example, the storage account should prevent shared access keys. What we have additionally, network watcher, so have a lot of low informatical resources. So let's go to this section here. Storage account should prevent shared access key. So the freshness is 30 minutes. So 30 minutes ago, the check will be executed. We have here the MyTree attack. It's initial access. You can see here the remediation, what you have to do to fix this recommendation. Disable shared access key for storage account, navigate to storage account in Asia portal, set settings, set configuration settings, allow shared access key to disable, and here is an official link to the site. So in this case, we can do this. Here's the full documentation, or you can go to the website. We can assign an owner for this task, for this recommendation, in this case assigned to me. We can exempt, so if the recommendations is available but our architecture requires exactly this functionality, we can exempt the recommendations, and this will also increase the secure score. We can trigger logic app to fix the problem automatically. Yeah, that's the functionality what we have. Okay, then let's go ahead to security alerts. Security alerts will be generated by workload protection. So in my case, I have no workload protection. I have a workload protection activated, but my workloads are not attacked. Here are some sample alerts. For example, I have here executable found from suspicious location. So let's go to this alert here. Once more, the alert will also be transferred to Microsoft Defender XDR. So you also have here the ability to see Microsoft Defender for Cloud alerts in your unified Defender XDR portal. But what you can see here is the account, the VM itself, the Azure resource, where the Azure resource is located, so the resource ID and also the subscription, the file that was executed and the directory from where the file was executed, the host name, the host logon process, and the process itself. So when we go to the take action, here are the actions what we can do to fix the problem, and that's available for all alerts. In this case, it's only a sample alert. We can also change here the status to resolved, and yeah. Okay. Cloud Security Explorer is available in CSPM Defender plan, so you can select here your resource and drop down and search by the resource, so you have here a better view about all your assets, also your incidents, for example. Workbooks. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud give you a lot of dashboards, a lot of visibility, and additionally also a lot of workbooks. And there's one workbook what in my point of view is really important, cost estimation. So when we think about FinOps, when we think about cost planning for Microsoft Defender for Cloud, this workbook could help a lot. So when we scroll down and we change here the plan, AWS plan, GCP plan. And here you can see all of my environments will, the Defender CSPM plan will cost 10 euro for the whole environment. So I have not a lot of resources. Defender for ARM, $35, Defender for servers, $15, and summarized $60 overall. Overall my environment, it's the monthly payment. When we scroll down, you can see here, based on the subscription level and based on the resource level itself, and this could help a lot to have a better understanding about how many costs should we calculate for Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Okay, so when you activate workload protection, so we are starting with CSPM Defender plan, increase the secure score as much as possible. So when we go here to security posture, you can see here the secure score, and the secure score is a calculation of your recommendation, and the recommendations will be calculated and will be increase your secure score when you resolve recommendations. In my case, I have 75% secure score. It's good, it's okay. And the next step could be to activate additional hyperscalers like AWS or GCP, integrate the shift left environment with DevSecOps, with GitHub, GitLab, Docker Hub, or JFrog, what you recommend. And then you can activate your workload protection. And when you activate your workload protection, you have here a better overview about everything what's activated. In my case, I only have the workload protection enabled for one server. I have no app service, no storage account, and so on and so forth. I have no just-in-time for access activated at the moment for my VMs. I have no SQL, no file integrity monitoring. But if you activate more and more services, you have more functionality here, and also like the data and AI security, network security, and DevOps, if it's available. Security, DevOps security. So here you have the connector to connect your DevOps environments, GitHub, Azure DevOps. Okay, so when you activate CSPM Defender plan, we have here, normally the Microsoft Cloud Security Benchmark initiative will be assigned per default. So this is the default initiative. And what you can do when you activate, when you have assigned the CSPM Defender plan, you have the ability to go to your subscriptions, so go to the app subscription. And here in the security policy section, you can see what kind of policies are activated in your environment. In this case, the Microsoft Cloud Security Benchmark initiatives with 226 recommendations is activated per default. So this is the baseline, and it's assigned to a management group. It's also really important. It's not assigned to the subscription itself. I'm assigning everything to a management group level over an issued policy. And here you have the other policies, the other compliance initiatives, what you are able to activate, like SOC 2023, NIST 2, NIST, ISO 27001, and so on and so forth. And if you activate one of these policies, an initiative will be assigned to the subscription in this case, and in a few minutes or a few hours later, you can go back here to the regular compliance, and you can see here another section for your NIST compliance report, for example, and you can scroll down and go to, for example, identity and access management, and see here the controls for centralized identification and authentication system. And here you can see what happens. I have here my storage account should prevent shared access key. So when I fix this recommendation, also the control here will go to green, and I have the next step fulfilled for my regular compliance in case of Microsoft's Cloud Security Benchmark. That's really important. That's additional, so you can also export and report for your CISO. And yeah, that's about Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Really baseline. If you want to know more about Microsoft Defender for Cloud, if you have some questions, please contact me LinkedIn or Facebook, or go to the cloud, or contact me directly, what you prefer. If you want to know more about Microsoft Defender for Cloud, if you have some questions, yeah, that's from my side. I really want to say once more thank you to Cyber Back to School to give me the chance to present you Microsoft Defender for Cloud and why this service is so important when you go to your cloud journey. Thank you for all. That's it. That's from my session. Thank you. Have a nice day.